Cannery Row in Monterey in California is a poem, a stink, a grating noise, a quality of light, a tone, a habit, a nostalgia, a dream. Cannery Row is the gathered and scattered, tin and iron and rust, splintered wood and chipped pavement and weedy lots and junk heaps, sardine canneries of corrugated iron, honky-tonks, restaurants and whorehouses and little crowded groceries and laboratories and flop houses. Its inhabitants are, as the man once said, whores, pimps, gamblers, and sons of bitches, by which he meant everybody. Had the man looked through another peephole, he might have said saints and angels and martyrs and holy men, and he would have meant the same thing. And they all, and a number of the rest of us, congregate over at Doc Ricketts' lab across the way there, Pacific Biological Laboratories. And laboratories is plural because there were a lot of different things that went on there in addition to marine biology. Oh yeah, Doc studied the octopus and prepared starfish and had a shark liver oil business and a few other things, but he made some of his money preparing frogs for dissection in high school biology labs. You probably met 2 or 3 of these frogs. And cats for study of the venous and arterial systems in medical schools. And Doc made a considerable amount of his money selling rattlesnake venom to the pharmaceutical companies. So he had big glass cages in the back of the lab with very large rattlesnakes in there. Next to the rattlesnakes was a wire cage with white rats in it, the neighbors. And Flora Wood, her place was right across there. She used to come over and bring some of the girls to Doc's. This particular party was not the first party in the story I wrote called Cannery Row, which ended in a disaster. This is the second party. Wing Chong came over from his market there. You probably know Wing Chong's market as a place, though not a model of neatness. It is a miracle of supply. He brought over a 25-foot-long string of firecrackers and some China lily bulbs. Eddie brought over a few of the jugs that he got at La Ida when he was part-time bartender, pouring all the unfinished drinks through a funnel and into a jug. People objected to the beer, so he quit putting beer in there, but it was a fine mixture of wine, bourbon, rye, gin, rum, occasionally a little bitters. But Doc this time had some fine whiskey, and the nature of parties has been imperfectly studied. Mac said we brought a little snort, and he indicated the 3 jugs Eddie had been accumulating. But Doc covered his early evening reluctance. No, he said, you've got to have a drink with me. It just happens I laid in some whiskey. They were just seated formally, sipping delicately at the whiskey, when Flora and the girls came in. And then pretty soon Wing Chong came in and presented the great string of firecrackers and the China lily bulbs. Someone ate the lily bulbs by 11 o'clock, but the firecrackers lasted longer. Flora sat on a kind of throne, her orange hair flaming. She held her whiskey glass daintily with her little finger extended. Doc put dance music on the phonograph, and then when the whiskey was gone, Doc brought out the gallons of wine. Flora, sitting enthroned, said, Doc, play some of that nice music. I get Christ awful sick of that jukebox over to home. Then Doc played Ardo and the Amor from an album of Monteverdi, and the guests sat quietly, and their eyes were inward. Flora breathed beauty. Doc was feeling a golden, pleasant sadness. The guests were silent when the music stopped. Doc brought out a book, Black Marigolds, a gift from Jean Aris, translated from the ancient Sanskrit, and he read in a clear, deep voice.